You want to start off? Yeah. Look at you.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Go ahead, George.
Coach, congratulations on the win. You have now secured a spot
Recording in
CONCACAF
progress.
Champions Cup. You've made it to the Open Cup final. Talk to me about what that means to you and the team.
When we set out this year, we talked about creating a winning culture. It was one of the kind of the three things we continue to speak about, and that included doing well in Leagues Cup and Open Cup, and of course, the objective of getting into the postseason. So this is just a really good step for I think this group and the organization in this moment to put ourselves in a situation to play in the finals after again the year that we had last year and kind of the previous few years. It shows that there's at least some growth here, and it was not an easy game. They're physical, they're cagey. Pablo's a very good coach, and it's a good team, and they have a lot of weapons. And I thought for most of the night we played at a high level and created a bunch of opportunities, plenty of shots to win that game. But they're a hard team to keep off the board, and they're gritty. So they found their goal, and it was a little bit of a blow for us. And after the Charlotte game and a few of the games against the Mexican teams where we gave up late leads, we've more times than not managed to stay steady and get through it. And that's a sign that there's real belief in the group and each other. And just, again, a proud night for me and the staff and the organization. And, now we have to enjoy it for the night, but we play them again, and it's going to be a very difficult game, and I'm sure they're not going to be happy about it, and so we have to refocus tomorrow. But it's just great to put this to be a part of an organization that's in the finals. It's hard to get there.
And then talk to us about how you play against such an aggressive team like them tonight. How the team hustles for one another.
It was collective. It had to be collective. And we're at home. We feel good at home, and it was at times it was some of the best soccer we've played all year, and that's really encouraging. And it would have been nice to get the second, third when we have those opportunities, but we didn't, and we found a way. It wasn't in regular time, and guys were gassed. To go back to back, some of these guys, a guy like Coco. The energy levels that he had, and Nelson Quinones had a very good game, and him and Coco stand out. Artur obviously did an unbelievable job of locking things down and securing the ball. Second balls, the direct play caused us some trouble, but we were able to deal with it and secure it, and then open them up and get good chances. But just overall good night.
David.
All right, looking forward, how do you manage the tired legs after playing a back-to-back?
Well, we bring some fresh bodies in. I mean, these guys have not only gone back-to-back, but back-to-back with 100 and something minutes, and that's a very difficult thing to turn around for some guys. So we'll manage. It gives us a chance to look at some guys that will that are excited to play, and we'll go in there and we'll try to get a result.
Al, go ahead.
No, hey, Coach. You guys will have a second chance at facing Lionel Messi. Just your thoughts on that matchup.
Did they win? Did they win?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard. In penalties? Yeah. They got one back in the end?
Shootout, yeah.
3-3, 5-4.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll deal with that. We got time for that. Focus right now is, getting these guys back and prepared, as best we can for a tough away trip in Salt Lake. So, but it'll be fun. It does add a little bit something. The fact that Miami's resurgence and kind of the hoopla around this team. Rightfully so. It's been an epic run for them, and we would love to be the team that stops the train, but it's going to be it'll be a tough match.
Jesus.
Coach, when RSO scored, did you think, here we go again? Another mistake causes the lead to go away?
No, it wasn't a here we go again. I mean, we've showed throughout this year that when teams come back and score, we've done okay. More times than not, we've been able to manage that and either respond or get the win. Some of them been in PK shootouts, but no, the way the game was going, I knew we'd get some chances. Momentum did shift there for a second, but the way it happened, it was at a run of play, and we had the right numbers in the box. But again, they're a scrappy team. They got good players, a high level. They've really upgraded in the summer, and to keep them off the board right now is very, very difficult.
When Hector exited the game, Coco sort of stepped up. Is that what you thought would happen, that he would step up?
I wish coaching worked like that. Bring him out and then Coco will go score a goal. No. Hector was cramping, and you could see it was, I pushed those guys physically to a point, right to the edge. And things were going, I could have made some earlier subs, but we were playing very well, and we were breaking lines, and we were still getting chances, and we still had the right cover for the most part. But at some point, he's played some real minutes over the last two, and the subs did a very good job. I thought Luis, obviously the goal, but he came in and solidified some things in there, really dealt with some transition moments, and still kind of played forward and broke lines and gave us some attack. And for him to score the goal is always it's nice to see a guy like that score goals.
After Sunday's high-scoring game, how proud are you to see that the team carry that offensive momentum into this game? Granted, it took them a while to score after the first goal, but had 30 shots for the whole game.
Yeah, again, just a good offensive night for us as far as getting to the box and getting looks. But if we have to see those games out and make sure that it is 2-3. We reward ourselves for those opportunities, and the other night we did that. We weren't as efficient tonight in front of the net as we were, but that happens in soccer, and you have to see it out in different ways.
Coach, right here. So one of the main critics from after Leagues Cup was that MLS has weak defensive players or weak defensive line on most teams. Obviously, Dynamo, that's not the case with the Houston Dynamo. How do you feel, or what do you think of those types of critics when they generalize with MLS regarding a certain position?
Those are stemming mostly from kind of Messi coming in and doing what he's doing. Is that
pretty much from Leagues Cup? Basically, the critic was that MLS teams in general have a bad defense and that they focus more on the offense.
I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in that. I mean, if you look at the results in the League Cup, I don't want to get into MLS versus League MX, but I think the MLS fared pretty well, both defensively and offensively. So I'm not going to get into those.
Right. My next question is: you brought in Ibrahim Aliyu in the second half, and he had a few missed chances. How do you work with him to keep that confidence level up?
He does a lot of good things. And he's just not, he's not scoring goals in the way he wants to or we want to. It happens with forwards. But we had 30 shots. He didn't have all the 30 shots, did he? Right. He had one that he could have scored, but there's guys 2 here, 2 there. It's not just on him. I know that he's a forward and he's been struggling, but he put a really good shift energy-wise in. He kept the ball, he contributed to that win, and he did a good job. But he didn't score a goal, and we just keep working with him. We put him in front of net at training, and he keeps. It'll come, and when it does, hopefully it comes in bunches because he's doing all these things to get him in good spots. And forwards don't even get into the spots, and he runs well. He understands where to be, and the goals just aren't coming for him.
We've got one more here in the room, then we'll go to Jonathan Cycle here on Zoom.
Congratulations, coach, for the final, your first final with the team, but for the next game, you were gonna do a lot of changes because the playoffs race is too close right now.
Yeah, we want to put the best team possible out, and we'll get in tomorrow and figure out which team is the one that has the juice, but also the quality to get a result there. It won't be easy, but it's doable, and we have a lot of players in reserve that can play and are excited to get their opportunity. So we'll figure out what that looks like.
Hi, Coach. How you see this next rival on this final of the US Open Cup? And all the people are talking about Messi, Jordi Alba, and this season that Inter Miami is coming out.
How do I feel about? Well, they're not really our rival. They're in the East, and we haven't seen this version of them. So we're looking forward to playing them, or it didn't matter who we're playing. We're just excited to be in the finals, and we'll deal with them, closer to the time that closer to the time that we'll play them, and maybe Messi has an appearance or something during that weekend. He could. I don't know. It'll be. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating, the way they've transformed that team. But we won't spend a lot of time thinking about them right now. We have a quick turnaround, and then in a couple weeks or whenever this next game is, we'll figure that out.
Jonathan, we'll go to you here on Zoom. Go ahead.
Thanks, guys. Ben, I just wanted to ask about Open Cup runs. You've experienced a few of these now as a player, as a coach, won a couple titles. What are some characteristics that tend to be kind of a through line for teams finding success in this tournament, and how do you see those perhaps showing up with your Dynamo team this year?
The journey, the Open Cup journey is a circus. I mean, it is, we should have lost to Tampa. The next game, I think we had Minnesota. I think they had a red card. No, Kansas City. They had a.
That was the 1-0.
We had a red card, and we skirted by them, and then Minnesota comes in. They got a red card. So it is just the first 2 or 3 games. It's a wild ride, and then you kind of get into the quarters, and then you tighten it up, and you kind of go for it. And then obviously tonight we put our best group forward and got the results. So each one that I've ever gone through, player or as a player and a coach, is just it's a wild ride. That's all I can say. You got referees, different types of referees. You're going to small cities. Did you get the home game versus the away game with a coin flip or however we're doing it? So it's to get here, it takes a little luck, and but again, once you get into those quarters, those games get real. And I'm proud of these guys for getting through the last 2 games.
Go ahead, Maggie.
Wild last few minutes on the pitch, knowing that you guys are playing them again this weekend.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Yeah, hopefully it settles down in the next 2 days, and I think it's an emotional game, and there was a lot at stake, and the fact that it got heated didn't surprise me, and maybe this weekend gets heated. It's part of playing back to back against the same opponent. So we'll see. We're glad we kept our heads, and we should have everybody still okay for the next game in Miami. But we got to be smart, but also go there and protect ourselves and be physical and make sure we show up down there, because as this gentleman said, we're still in a neck and neck race to make the playoffs, and our objectives at this point is to win the Open Cup, and the other one is still to get in the postseason. And we're there, but so is everybody else. We need points.
All right, we'll wrap up with that one. Thank you very much, Ben.
Thanks.